And now to a story that we have been tracking. They say, truth is the first casualty in war, and this phrase has never made more sense than it does now. In the ongoing Israel-Palestine conflict, the gap between truth and falsehoods is growing wider by the day. And a lot of credit for this goes to social media, where misinformation is flourishing. Fake videos and images are going viral, and tonight we'll call out these falsehoods and tell you how they are fueling the conflict. Let's begin with a video. This video that you see. It shows a truck-based missile launcher moving down a civilian area. This video was first shared by a US-based pro-Israeli account. It has since been shared repeatedly with the claim that this is from Gaza and that Hamas is using humans as a shield against Israel. This video is fake. It's not even from Gaza, it's from northern Israel. It was shared in November 2018 by an Israeli news agency. These are Israeli trucks. They got lost on their way. They entered a village. The account that posted this video has taken it down, saying, "Please accept my apology for the bad info." Here's case number 2, and this one's an image. It claims to show Israelis celebrating as a fire rages at the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is being shared widely by pro-Palestinian accounts. They say Jews harmed their mosque and they danced as it burned. Again, this image is misleading. The mosque was never burned. It was a tree that caught fire. This was due to fireworks during Jerusalem Day celebrations, and it's from the 10th of May. Last we checked, both the image and the video were still being widely shared on social media, even in India, notwithstanding the fact that this is misinformation, and these lies could prove to be potentially deadly for both Israelis and Palestinians. As it is, the conflict is far from over. The skies are still burning on both sides. The death toll is rising. Between the 10th and the 17th of May, a total of 12 people died in Israel. 10 were killed in missile attacks and 2 in civil unrest. And this includes 1 child, plus 796 people who've been injured. During the same period, at least 212 people have died in Palestine, including 61 children and 34 women, 3 of them pregnant. The injuries stand at 6,000 plus. And this is the toll of just 6 days of conflict. What's worse, it comes in the middle of a pandemic. Gaza has only 1 laboratory to test Wuhan virus cases, and the health ministry there now says that it has been destroyed by an airstrike. They have no way of testing cases. In Israel, 2 foreign workers from Thailand have been killed in rockets fired from Gaza. Israel claims to have destroyed a rocket launching site used by the Hamas in the Gaza Strip. And Hamas claims to have struck Israel's Urim military base, vowing to strike more military facilities. And amid this back and forth, both sides are failing to justify their actions. Take Israel's strike on the media complex, for example, the media complex in Gaza. Last Saturday, Israel struck a building that housed 2 major media organizations, the Associated Press, or AP, and Al Jazeera. Now, both their offices were destroyed in an airstrike, and Israel said that Hamas was using this building for its operations. It promised to provide evidence for this. It's been 3 days. And America, where the Associated Press is based out of, says that Israel has not provided any such evidence. The US Secretary of State himself issued a statement categorically stating that he has not seen any information on this.
I will leave it to others to characterize if any information has been shared and our assessment of that information. The broader point, though, remains, and this is really critical. Israel has a special responsibility to protect civilians in the course of its self-defense, and that most certainly includes journalists.
Mr. Secretary, if I could follow up, you said that you've requested additional information. Have you received it? Have you seen it? And did you find it credible?
I've not seen any information provided, and again, to the extent that it is based on intelligence, that would have been shared with other colleagues, and I'll leave that to them to assess.
Do you notice a shift? America is openly demanding evidence from Israel. America is also, by the way, blocking a UN statement on the conflict, calling for a ceasefire. They're blocking that statement. The Israeli media says it's because the statement failed to condemn Hamas. Washington says it's because a ceasefire ultimately depends on the two parties involved. Statement or no statement. We might never really know what the truth is. In the meantime, reports say that the ongoing clashes have led to a rise in anti-Semitism. The UK's Community Security Trust, a charity which looks after the safety of Jews in England, has said that there has been a 5-fold increase in reports of anti-Semitic incidents in recent days. According to them, at least 86 anti-Semitic incidents were reported in the UK between the 8th and the 17th of this month. Here's one such incident. Take a look. Here's another one. A Pakistan-based freelance writer working for the CNN put out this tweet on Sunday. The world today needs a Hitler, a brazen display of hatred towards Jews. Last we checked, the company in question had cut all ties with this person. Meanwhile, the international leadership remains divided on what to do with this region. The starkest division is being seen in the Arab world. It's an embarrassing time for all of them. Many Arab nations, remember, are walking a diplomatic tightrope, especially countries like Morocco, the Sudan and Bahrain. They'd recently normalized ties with Israel and now they have condemned the clashes. But they've said very little about the situation in Gaza. Then we have countries like Turkey, Pakistan, Indonesia, the Maldives and Iran. They have vociferously accused Israel of terrorizing Palestinians. But is anybody working on a solution? Well, some of them are. Like Egypt and France, the president of Egypt, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, along with the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, discussed mediating a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine. Reports say both countries also intend to seek the support of Jordan. Listen to this.
For me, it is part of the process of achieving a ceasefire as quickly as possible, which is obviously what we want, and the construction of a possible path for discussions between the various parties involved. In this respect, we have decided to have a discussion in the next few days with President Sisi and the King of Jordan to try to see together how we can make concrete proposals on this path.
Now, it may still take a while for the mediation process to begin, and then some. Until then, as we watch these developments, it's imperative that we do not feed the hostility with misinformation and provocative fake news. Follow trusted sources. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.